Dah start lah.
Belum. Tapal dua dah tayar.
Dah ada ke belum?
Okey, tapal dua.
Nak tekan show ke?
Okey, dah.
Okey dah ni.
Okey, boleh. Keluar lah.
Dalam tu cerah.
Oh, jadi. Tapal dua dah tayar.
Dalam tu cerah.
Oh, jadi.
Hmm. Dia lambat sikit kat sini.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh no, 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 no. Itu komen. Wow. Itu buka dia. Ambil tayar aja.
Nak tengok nampak dah kat situ.
Ye. Kita berdaya. Okey.
Boleh.
Lambat.
Tapi okey ke tak?
Kita berdaya.
Kenapa dia lambat tu? Kenapa dia lambat?
Tu. Live ni kan memang dia ada delay sikit.
Kita dah pergi. Berbual cuaca 3. Berbual api dontrok. Ye. Ada banyak. Betul. Dari buat.
Sini kena off dia punya volume tak? Sebab kan dia cakap nanti keluar kat sini.
Boleh.
Nak off. Takut dari sini dengar di sini. Betul tak?
So kita start part exactly
Siapa ambil ayah aku ini?
3 minit ni.
Tak berarti ni. Dari buat. RM1. Tayar lah. Mami, ni. Okey, Mami.
Okey, masuk kita boleh.
Okey. Sedap lagi, Mami. Okey, ye, biar lagi.
Dia lagi.
Ye, 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 ye. Ambil tiap betul tu. Tui, tekan lagi. Tempat tidur tu.
Okay, testing.
Ni betul dia.
Okay, semua okay.
Tu betul.
Jangan tarik kursi nanti buruk.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, good evening. Apa khabar semua? So this is our second event, second live event. The first one last week, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago kita buat I shared about soil, 5 types of soil. Some people ask me kenapa 5 types of soil only, kenapa tak why I didn't share many more types of soil yang kita boleh jumpa dekat pasaran. But actually this 5 type of soil yang kita share 2 weeks ago, this is the most common soil that you can find in any of your local nursery. You go to any of your local nursery, these are the 5 types of soil that you can easily find. So quick recap. This one is the burnt soil. Burnt soil, and then the next one is the compost soil. Compost. And then this is the peat moss. This is the potting mix. And finally the coco peat. So this is the 5 types of soil yang I shared 2 weeks ago. So do you remember can you remember which one is the most porous? We did some tests, some water retention test. Kita testing how well the soil can hold water. So we did a test 2 weeks ago, and to determine which of these 5 types of soil can hold the most water, or in other words, which are the most porous. Porous means that the ability to hold water. The more porous the soil is, that means the less the ability to hold water. So I'm not going to go through again. So if you missed the 2 weeks ago punya sharing, you can tengok dekat atas tu ada recording dia. So from the test we did 2 weeks ago, we found out that the coco peat is the most porous of all. Kita letak air, dia keluar terus. It can hardly retain any water. Dia boleh retain sikit je water. So this one is the most porous compared to the compost. peat moss, potting soil, and also the burn soil. Burn soil also dia quite porous tapi dia still can hold some water. So today untuk seeds germination ni I'm going to use all these 5 type of soil. So all these 5 type of soil ni kita akan guna juga untuk germination seeds nanti ya. Okay. Okay, so to start kita give me a quick overview of what type of seeds are available in the market. Seeds, there are the two main types of seeds in the market. One is the hybrid, or also known as F1 seeds, and the other one is the heirloom seeds. So what is the difference between hybrid and heirloom seeds? Hybrid seeds is a seeds that goes through scientific process. They're most probably normally produced by larger corporations. This type of seeds they are the predetermined traits of it. Like for example, they have for example tomato yang keluar buah banyak, yang disease resistant, and then pest resistant. All these are hybrid seeds. That means they have predetermined traits. They have been processed carefully to give out certain kind of enhanced characteristic of the seeds. Okay, but different from heirloom seed. Heirloom seed is a open pollinated seed. These are the seeds that are produced in farms, normal farm, regular farms you can find. Then this is the regular seeds. So how to know which one is F1, which one is F1 hybrid, or which one is heirloom? It is required by law that every F1 or hybrid seed they have to properly label it. So if you go to the market, to any supermarket or any nursery, you want to purchase seeds, you tengok dekat dia punya packaging tu. If it is written that hybrid or F1, that means that is hybrid or F1 seeds. For normal heirloom seed, they don't have to label anything. So because it is considered homemade, this one is made by the farmers itself. So which one is better, heirloom or F1 seeds? F1 seeds they can give out certain predetermined types of traits. It means that it is easier to care. That means some, for example, some are disease resistant. So which means that you can plant the hybrid seeds and you don't have to worry so much about disease. And it also predetermined to give out certain type of harvest, which means longer harvest, bigger fruits, sweeter fruits. All these are hybrid seeds. So in a glance, that means hybrid seeds may be better than heirloom seeds. But actually, I don't really encourage you to use hybrid or F1 seeds. I don't like to use hybrid or F1 seeds because hybrid and F1 seeds whenever you get the harvest. For example, let's say a simple example is tomato. You get a nice, beautiful tomato from your garden, from your hybrid seeds. And then if you want to save the seeds for future, to grow it again in the future, you will definitely not get the same result, because it is made that way. Hybrids and F1 seeds are made that way. They are only made to give you the proper harvest only once only. You cannot save the seeds. If you save the seeds, you try and grow again, then you will never get the same result. 99% you will not get the same result. But if you use heirloom seeds, the results you get, it is determined by how you care, of your tender loving care for your plants. So the better you care for your plants, then the better it is for your harvest if you're using the heirloom seeds. And if you're using heirloom seeds, any harvest you get from your plants, you can save it and grow it again in some other time. You can save the seeds and grow it, save it for many years to come. Okay? Ada question tadi.
Okey, kalau guna biji benih dari buah yang kita beli dari supermarket, buah cantik, contoh tembikar atau labu.
Okey, basically the question is about kita pergi supermarket, then you see the watermelon, cantik watermelon, and then bawa balik rumah, and then it is super sweet, super nice, and then you definitely want to save the seeds and grow it again, because you expect the same result. You want to grow the same type of watermelon at your home because it is so nice, wonderful. So you want to grow it again. You save the seeds and you want to grow it again. So can you do that? Okay, as a farmer, my advice is that you better not, because in the farming world, especially locally, like in Malaysia, I don't know about other countries, especially in Malaysia, the farmers usually will only use hybrid seeds for their farm. Yeah, because they want the guaranteed. They don't have actually. Dia tak mau fikir banyak sangat pasal carrying apa semua, because all their target is the profit. They want the profit. What is the going to get? They want the end result. They want to sell the best harvest for the best price. So in order to ensure their best harvest, so what they're going to do, they have to use hybrid seeds. Hybrid seeds may be a bit expensive than the normal heirloom seeds, but they want the guaranteed result. They want the guaranteed result. So most farmers, I think 99 to 100% of farmers at least locally, they will use hybrid seeds. So hybrid harvest from hybrid seeds. So you have to save the seeds and grow it again. I can't guarantee that you will get the same result. So my advice is better not waste your time using seeds from fruits you buy from the supermarket. Okay. And then one of the most common question. Okay, before we start, before we go more on germinating seeds, another most common seeds question that I get is that, do I need to soak the seed first? Kena rendam dulu ke seeds tu? Okay. One thing, how to I determine whether the seeds you kena rendam dulu ke tak? So you can determine whether the seeds you kena rendam dulu, you need to soak it first or not, is by looking at it. Okay, for example, okay, this is I have a few seeds here to show. Okay, just this is Saka Inchi. So look at this. Kita tengok pun kita tahu it is so hard. Kita tengok pun kita tahu keras, biji benih ni keras, so hard, so firm. So this kind of seeds, definitely you have to soak at least 2 or 3 days. You need to soak. And then the other one is sunflower. This is also hard seed. Kita tengok, kita nampak dia keras sikit. So we press it little bit macam ni, kita boleh tengok dia quite hard, quite firm, ada isi kat dalam dia. So this is also, you can soak for 2 or 3 days before you plant. But this one is bendy. Bendy is, kita tengok pun not so hard. This one also you can soak for 1 or 2 days. Okay, some other seeds like the smaller one. This one is Skyline. Small tiny seeds you don't have to soak. But if you want to soak also, pun boleh, tak ada masalah. You can soak for at least probably 1 or 2 hours pun dah cukup dah. Terung, this is soft. Terung. So yang ni tak payah soak pun boleh juga. Or you want to soak for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, okay, no problem. Just to soften up the shell dekat outside lah. Then this one is the black sesame. Pun tiny seeds, you don't have to soak. But if you want to memang rasa nak rendam juga, tak ada masalah, but not too long. For smaller seeds like this, you want to soak sekejap jadilah. 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour, it's okay already. So that is answer the question on how to, do you need to soak seeds or not. Okay, seeds, they need to germinate seeds. there are three basic requirements for the seeds to germinate. If all three requirements are met, then you don't have any problem germinating seeds. The number one is moisture, kelembapan air. This is the number one. Kalau when you trying to germinate seeds, but you don't have moisture, tanah tu kering, your planting media is dry, then sampai bila pun your seeds will not germinate. And then the other one is temperature. You need the right temperature. Too hot tak boleh, too cold tak boleh. And then of course you need oxygen, the air. Yang tu kita don't have to worry anything about it lah, because oxygen memang ada dekat udara kita. So these are the three requirement for proper seeds germination. They need these three things only to germinate. You ada tiga benda ni, tiga perkara ni, then you don't have any problem germinating your seeds. There are some also ada a few seeds not much that need light to germinate. Dia perlukan cahaya. But this one are not the common seeds that you find in the market, at least locally, because this type of seeds that needs proper light to germinate, this one is normally from the seasonal place, the place yang ada 4 season, winter, fall, spring, macam tu. So this type of seeds we rarely use it here in Malaysia. So I'm not going to go into that. So we're going to use only the locally available seeds. So for locally available seeds, these are the three things. Okay, moisture, temperature, and air, oxygen. These are the three types of things. So which means that like I said just now, heirloom seeds, they are seeds that you can save for many years. So which means that heirloom seeds ni kita boleh simpan bertahun-tahun lama, because to properly store your seeds, you need to avoid these three conditions only: moisture, temperature, and oxygen. So if you keep your seeds in an airtight container, betul-betul airtight container, you boleh screw the container ketat-ketat and deprive it of moisture. So that means that you can keep that seeds for many years. Banyak tahun you boleh simpan your seeds tu. So that's why when you buy seeds, you don't have to grow everything. And okay, I remember a story about my neighbor, my next door neighbor. They asked me if I have some bendy seeds. So I gave them a packet of bendy seeds. And then a few weeks later, I saw them growing about 30-40 plants, bendy plants in their garden. So I asked them why they have to grow all the seeds that I gave them. Dia kata takut expire, takut seeds rosak, so they grow everything. So if you grow 40 bendy plants in your garden, that means it seems that you're having a stall in the market already. Because for a standard family of 2 or 3 person, 1 or 2 bendy plants is enough already. So only grow what you need, and then the rest you keep it in an airtight container. You boleh simpan banyak tahun, so many years. And I also remembered another story I read. I can't remember where is it. It's about the pumpkin festival in the US. So this is a type of pumpkin festival where all the local farmers throughout the state who grows pumpkin, they enter this festival, and then to select the best pumpkin. The best means the biggest pumpkin. So the biggest pumpkin will get the award, will win the festival. So they have this pumpkin, large pumpkin. The largest pumpkin I read is about the size of a Volkswagen Mini. So big, macam tu. I've read it. I can't remember where is it. Probably you can Google it. Later. This is a pumpkin festival in the US. So the biggest pumpkin ever is the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. So that's how big the pumpkin is. So the person who grew that pumpkin, he said that they use the seeds from heirloom seeds. They use heirloom seeds from many generation ago, and then some of the seeds that they save is more than 50 years old. See, 50 years old can also produce pumpkin as big as a car. So that means that with proper storage, without any moisture, without any moisture, you can keep the seeds for many years. Berpuluh-puluh tahun you boleh simpan you punya seeds. So kalau diorang boleh simpan seeds for more than 50 years, so for kita nak simpan for 1 or 2 years, there's no problem at all. And also there are some people I know locally, who have come to me before and asked my opinion, my help on creating their own seed bank for their local community garden. And I have advised them on how to do it, how to store the seeds, and how to properly select the best plant to keep the seeds, and how to do the proper germination, proper pollination of seeds, for them to save the best seeds from their local community garden. Then I've done that before, so there's no problem at all if you want to save your seeds for many years. Okay, ada soalan lagi? Okay, there's another question I got from somebody text me this question this afternoon. Apa dia?
Salam, saya semai benih salad tutup dengan plastik hitam. Sebahagian dah tumbuh. Jika saya tutup semula dengan plastik hitam, yang dah tumbuh tu jadi panjang. Kalau saya buka saja pada matahari pagi, yang tak tumbuh lagi tu dah tak tumbuh. Nak buat macam mana?
Okay, boleh faham tak? Okay, from what I understand daripada question ni is that dia try to germinate salad seeds, so lettuce, so dia bubur seeds tu, dia germinate the way that I thought before, macam tu, and then some of it has already germinated, dah keluar, dah tumbuh, but some belum lagi. Then bila seeds sudah germinate, what I've shared before is that bila dah germinate, you have to put them out in the morning sun, because kalau you tak letak the seedling out in the morning sun, you have the seedling yang panjang, long stem seedling. These are the sign that the seedling does not receive proper sun. Pernah nampak kan? Kadang-kadang we germinate seeds and then suddenly it grows so long. Yang tu that is not good actually. That means that the plant is actually doesn't receive the proper sun. So it's trying to find the direct sun. That's why dia grow panjang dengan pantas. Pasal dia nak cari matahari tu. So that is what I meant. And then some other seeds yang dia germinate tu tak tumbuh. So basically is that setengah tu dah tumbuh, some others tu belum tumbuh lagi. So if dia letak those seeds in the morning sun, the one that has germinated, okay lah, no problem lah, will grow properly. But those that has not germinated yet, yang tak keluar lagi, yang tak tumbuh lagi, dia kena panas matahari, jadi dia tak boleh tumbuh lah, macam mana? So that is basically the question. So
Ada one question.
So that means to answer the question first, you need to know whatever it is you're growing, you need to know the germination time, the germination period. Okay, for example, lettuce, the germination period is about 4 to 7 days. Okay, so that means that your lettuce seed should germinate around after 4 days to a maximum of 7 days. So this is what you need to know. So before you germinate any seed, you need to know that this one first. Okay. So because we don't want to waste our time, we don't have to waste our time waiting and then that thing doesn't germinate. So you need to know this first. Macam mana kita nak tahu benda ni? You can easily Google this. You can type there germination period for any plants. Germination, how many days does it take for lettuce to germinate? How many days it takes for tomato to germinate? Or if you don't want to use Google, text me, ask me, and inshallah I'll answer you. Okay, so for lettuce, it needs about 4 to 7 days to germinate. So macam in that case tadi, some of it dah germinate and some of those belum. So what do? You can, if it already more than 7 days, that means that yang belum germinate tu maknanya that seed is dah tak boleh guna lah. Maknanya tak boleh guna lah if it is more than 7 days. If it is less than 7 days, if it's still within the period, maybe you can ambil cardboard ke apa and then tutup seeds tu. But kalau kena matahari sikit-sikit pun actually taklah problem sangat, as long as the soil tu it is sentiasa basah, sentiasa moist. So you can letak dekat tengah hari pun tak apa, letak dekat panas pun tak apa, as long as yang tak germinate lagi tu, the soil is always damp, is always moist. That is the basic requirement aja. You tak tutup pun tak apa, it still can grow walaupun tak tutup, walaupun you tak tutup dengan plastik, dengan kertas ke apa, as long as this has good moisture, tanah tu sentiasa lembap, tanah tu sentiasa basah, then it's okay. But if it's more than 7 days already and still haven't germinated, that means something wrong with the seed. So tanam balik semula, buat yang lain. I hope that answers your question. Ada apa lagi?
Ada soalan. Assalamualaikum. Ada yang ajak simpan dalam peti ais, okey ke tak? Biji benih simpan dalam peti ais.
Ada cakap biji benih apa?
Tak ada, dia tak cakap.
Okey, simpan dalam peti ais. Simpan dalam peti ais juga boleh juga kita simpan biji benih dalam peti ais. But yang pentingnya airtight container, itu je yang penting ya, airtight container. Kita tak mau ada moisture masuk dekat dalam bekas tu, dan kita boleh simpan dalam peti ais, simpan dekat luar pun tak apa. But kalau kita beli biji benih daripada I used to do this also. I beli biji benih daripada eBay. This one is from luar negara. Kadang-kadang I beli tomato, I beli pumpkin yang giant pumpkin tu. And then I pernah beli strawberries, the larger strawberries. This one I beli daripada eBay, and then they send it from UK, they send it from US. So kita tahu biji benih tu comes from temperate countries yang ada cold season, yang ada snow, yang ada hot season, cold season. So kita tahu biji benih tu datang daripada this temperate country. So it come here. So kita tak boleh nak tanam terus biji benih tu. Kita nak bagi dia acclimatize to our local condition ni kat sini. So how to do that? Kita simpan dalam peti ais. Kita simpan dalam peti ais dulu for probably 2 or 3 weeks, then baru kita letak dekat luar. So that is what I do kalau I beli biji benih daripada luar negara, especially from temperate countries. So tapi kalau ada local seeds macam ni, nak simpan dalam peti ais pun boleh, nak simpan dekat luar pun boleh, doesn't matter, tak ada apa masalah. But only itu je, you have to avoid moisture, itu je. Tu nak bagi biji benih tu bertahan bertahun-tahun, avoid moisture. That is the keyword, moisture. Dia tak ada kelembapan, dia tak ada air, dia tak ada kena air, dia boleh simpan bertahun-tahun. Bila dia ada kelembapan, dia ada air sikit dekat dalam bekas tu, dia akan terus tumbuh. Walaupun tak ada tanah, walaupun tak ada tanah, walaupun gelap, dia akan tumbuh kat dalam bekas tu. Itu maknanya ada moisture yang dah termasuk dekat dalam tu ya. So okay, ada apa-apa nak tanya lagi sebelum kita teruskan lagi? Okay, next I'm going to demonstrate how I germinate seeds. Kita ada beberapa, we have some various seeds to germinate today. And then but before I continue, I need to remind you that I'm not telling you that this is the only way to germinate seeds. So don't go and tell everyone that okay, today I joined this Q&F live session and they show me how to germinate seeds. So this is the only way you have to do to germinate seeds. No, bukan. But this is not the only way to germinate seeds. But this is the way this is how I germinate my seeds here in my home garden and in the farm. So this is how I've been doing it. So I'm sharing with you all how I'm doing it. So you not if you have any trouble germinating seeds, I think most probably you can try using the method that I'm going to share later. Okay. Okay, so kita dah I've showed these 5 seeds tadi ni. Tadi, so we have to kita dah determine tadi which one you need to, which one you have to soak, which one you tak payah rendam. Okay, so tadi ni the first one is Sacha Inchi ni. Sacha Inchi ni is so hard. Kita pegang ni pun rasa keras sangat ni. Sangat keras ni biji benih ni. Keras ni. Sacha Inchi ni, in case you don't know, this is this is a healthy beneficial plant. Orang cakap dia it's also known as the insulin plant. Very good for diabetes. You can drink water, you can drink tea made from its leaf. You can boil the seeds. I'm not sure how they do it, but this is what you call insulin plant. Okay, so this is, you see, yang ni seeds yang so hard macam ni. So nampak tak lubang kecil kat situ? Nampak tak? Okay, so this is where dia punya first roots will come out. This is where the first root will come out. So kalau dia keras macam ni, kita tanam terus, if you sow terus dekat dalam tanah, dekat dalam any media, so it's difficult. It may take few months just to germinate. Few months to germinate, not because of dia punya period. It is because
tadi selepas soalan tadi kan ada orang cakap yang simpan biji benih dalam peti ais tak boleh sebab nanti dia lembab kan. Ada yang cakap patutlah bila kita simpan jagung dalam peti ais, jagung tu tumbuh. Yes, sebab dia basah.
Okay, so bila dia keras sangat macam ni, kita tanam terus kat dalam tanah. You sow straight away dekat tanah tu, it may take many months to grow the first root, because it is so hard. Dia perlukan air, dia perlukan moisture, lots of moisture untuk soften up the skin, to soften up the shell. Bila dia keras macam ni, dia perlukan moisture lah untuk lembutkan kulit dia. So this one I dah rendam siap-siap dah, the Sacha Inchi seeds ni. This is I rendam ni 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Nampak? You dah nampak dia kembang sikit. And then okay, so dah 3 I've soaked this for 3 days already. So it is now ready to be transferred to a proper soil. So the first way I'm going to show you is that how I'm going to use compost and peat moss.
So dia sedap dalam kompos tanah.
Adik tolong angkat dua tu adik. Bawa keluar ni. Okay, for larger seeds like this, I normally use paper cup. Ini I use at home, bukan dekat, not in the farm. In the farm I want to use paper cup, berapa ribu paper cup I nak guna, kan? So I'm using paper cup for my home garden. So how I'm going to do it? This one is if I'm using compost and peat moss. Peat moss, kalau you remember, I said this is the best soil to use to germinate seeds. So kalau you pergi nursery, normally the people will say, okay, you use peat moss for seed germination. That's all. So you buy the peat moss, go home, and then you use everything for your seed germination. So I'm going to show you actually not to use everything, not to use all. Why? Because this peat moss is very expensive. Yeah, if you think you have the resources, you want to use everything, then be my guest. But I'm showing you not to use everything because this peat moss costs 15 ringgit per kilo. Normally costs around 15 ringgit per kilo. It's very expensive, so it is a waste to use everything when you don't need to use everything. So what I'm going to do is that this is the normal paper cup. I'm going to fill it up with our compost first.
Slow sikit wait.
Nak pergi tengok.
Slow.
Habis.
Nampak rotan.
Okay,
Wait, nampak rotan.
I fill it up sampai dekat-dekat nak penuh ha, but not
Slow.
tak penuh sangat lah. Okay, nampak.
Dah nampak.
Okay, then only I take this peat moss and then I put in a layer of peat moss in the cup, in the paper cup like this. A layer, just to get that cushion. Okay, just a layer like this. Okay, adik mai tolong tak adik?
Okay.
Okay, and then come. Okay, bubuk kat ni. Okay, hari ni this is my second son Khalif. Dia tolong I hari ni. He's 8 years old, darjah 2. And for your info, dia dah umur 8 tahun. And dia dah start puasa daripada umur dia 5 tahun. Daripada 5 tahun sampai sekarang dia umur 8 tahun dia puasa. Dia cuma miss 2 hari je, 2 hari kan. 2 hari je dia miss puasa. Itu pun because dia demam. So rajin puasa ni. Okay lah, so you just put the seeds macam ni je. Ni and then another layer of peat moss. Another layer of peat moss ni. Tutup macam ni. Dah, okay, done. There you have it. Macam tu je. Okay, let me do another one. Adik tolong sekali buh.
Adik tolong buah tanah.
Buh. Okay, like this Jangan penuh sangat
Payung.
Isi.
Koyek slow sikit.
Nak bagi tengok.
Okay, macam ni
Slow ini.
Okay, jap.
Main nak tambah tanah.
And then a layer of the peat moss. Okay, buah biji ni. Okay, as you can see kita tak payah nak tekan terus we just place the seeds macam tu je. Okay, and then another
Terbalik.
layer of peat moss, just enough to cover the seeds. Okay, there you have it. We are done with the Satcha Inchi. This is a lush seed. Okay, simpan balik, ambil potting soil pula. Dua-dua ni. Okay, so see kita tak guna semua peat moss. We don't use everything. We just use a layer of peat moss because we need the peat moss just to cushion, just to cushion the seeds only, just to cushion the seeds, and then just to have it retain the moisture around the seed, and then we just cover it macam tu. Kita tak payah nak tekan teruk-teruk kat dalam sangat, especially for smaller seeds. And then because kalau kita tekan, if you press the seeds dalam sangat, I've seen people do like that. Dia tekan seed tu dalam, selagi boleh tekan, dia tekan lagi. And then bila dia buat macam tu, when the seed germinate, bila dia keluar dia punya first leaf, it has to cover quite a distance just to keluarkan daun dia. So dia tak boleh nak push the soil out, and then matilah seeds tu. Dia tak boleh ni. So pasal dia cuma perlukan peat moss, the moisture tu masa dia nak germinate dia je. Maksudnya dia nak germinate mula-mula, dia keluar dia punya first root, dia keluar dia punya first leaf tu. Masa tu je dia perlukan dia punya peat moss tu. So you don't need peat moss tu banyak-banyak. Yeah? Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you using potting soil. Okay, potting soil. This is the potting soil ni. Okay, potting soil ni, it is way cheaper than the peat moss. So you want to use everything also can, or you want to use like just now also can. Compost and potting soil. If you want to use the compost first, but same thing also, you fill it up until almost full.
Tak sedih kau ni.
Sekejap. Okay, so macam tadi if this is you want to use macam tadi juga or you can use all entirely the potting soil. Potting soil ni I don't mind using everything because it is cheaper. And then it can retain water, it can retain moisture, just like the experiment we did 2 weeks ago. So kita boleh guna semua. And then for the compost tadi ni, kita put a layer, just like what we did dengan peat moss tadi. A layer. Okay, so yang ni kita nak tanam apa dia? Okay, so this one kita tanam sunflower. Okay, yang ni sunflower, this one I dah rendam since this morning. Since morning I rendam dah sunflower ni. Okay, adik bubur je.
1 sebiji.
2 pun tak apa. Okay, jangan dekat sangat. Okay, dah. Okay, then as usual, another layer of the soil. Just enough to cover the seeds only. Okay, so this sunflower ni one, this one is also considered as a larger seed. So you can use this paper cup. You can use this paper cup. Okay, dia tolong letak kat sana ni. Susun kat sini. Okay, so we are done with the compost plus peat moss, and then we are done with the potting soil. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is using tray. Using tray. Okay, so this is the tray that I normally use. Dia ada 16 hole, and then the size also is sufficient enough to grow larger types of plant. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use this tray. Ambil burn tanah hitam dengan coco peat. Okay.
Adik bagus yang adik tahu jenis-jenis tanah lah. Oh, pandai. Tak payah tunjuk dah. Apa juga jenis tanah dah pandai ya.
Ambil keteh kosong. Okay, dia koyak kecil-kecil ni. Ambil sini. Okay. Dah ditunjuk kan? Koyak macam ni. Okay, if you remember, lagi banyak-banyak.
Buka sini.
If you remember, burn soil yang I tunjuk 2 weeks ago, this is soil they burn it using very high temperature. So what we have is that soil ni dia is practically more dust, macam it is basically dust, you tengok dust. So kita and then bila dia dust macam ni, bila kita siram, when we water the plant, most of it will dissolve. Dissolve bukan actually dissolve masuk dekat dalam air jadi solution ke apa, dia akan keluar, dia akan come out with the water. Because it is so fine, it's so soft, it is practically dust. It's only dust, nampak. So if you put this inside the tray macam ni, macam biasa. So let me show you how what happen. I put it in the tray like this. Boleh nampak tak ni? Put in the tray like this. So tengok dia keluar terus. Dia keluar terus. Dia keluar terus. So what you're going to do is that kita cover dulu dengan paper. Cover dulu dengan paper. Paper is okay, don't use plastic lah. Don't use plastic, don't use polystyrene lah. Paper is okay, newspaper ke, ini use paper. Put paper first, just to cover the holes. And then this is also to avoid the soil from magically disappear after a few times you water it. Okay, dah adik. Okay, so put paper first. Put paper just to cover the holes. Just to cover the hole. Okay, then only we fill it up with soil. Mari adik tolong bubuh. Okay, by the way, while we're doing this, just like to inform you that whatever seeds I'm showing today, and also many other seeds, 30 over seeds I have, it's all available in my Shopee store. You can click the link below this video. There's a link to my Shopee store. I also have this seeds, and most of everything that I am showing you here is available in my Shopee store. And this one is let me tell you, this is Koyit. This is our youngest son. He is also the most pampered one. Ini je. He's also the pampered one. He always want to, he's so manja, so pampered with everyone. Okay, PC lagi dia. Okay, now dah fit. Okay, so we fill it up already,
Mama coba lah. Aku tiba. Oh, yes.
Okay, so the next one I'm going to
Bagi.
use is
Adik tolong pegang bawah ujung tu.
coco peat.
Ujung bawah.
Okay, so I'm going to use
Tolong
coco
bagi masuk
peat
dalam.
at this the next
Dah,
row here.
dah, enough. Angkat. Okey dah, sedih kat dia.
Sama kiki. Dekat bang. Abang.
See,
Adik dia bagi. Adik tunggu dia pergi.
so coco peat is not as dusty, as fine as the burnt soil, so you don't need to put the paper here
Yeah.
inside the hole. Tak payah bubuh kertas Tapi kau nak bubuh pun tak apa, tak ada masalah. Boleh je kena bubuh. Ni yang kat sini tak payah beri. Sini je. Ni balik ni, sini je.
Satu baris belah sana.
Apa? Dia abang. Bobok.
Okey, dah cukup. Okey, dah cukup.
Kita gitu ke dah.
Dah cukup. Okay, now we have one row of burnt soil and then the other row of coco peat.
Kopi.
Okay, dah. Okay, so sekarang ni now we're going to this is bendi. This one also I dah rendam siap-siap from this morning. So
Tak saya sini.
okay. We're going to put this bendi on this in this row only burnt soil ni. Step satu.
Okey. Duduk.
Dah habis. Okay. And then for this row, coco peat row ni, I'm going to grow this one. This is black sesame. Ambil
tangan adik. Ambil tangan ni. Okey. Ambil satu. Okey.
Ni sini, ambil sini. Start tengah sini. Boleh tolong sekali.
Okey.
Buat satu-satu.
Okey. Banyak.
Tak apa, buah tak apa. Terbanyak pun tak apa.
Mesti nak dekat tu.
Sini aku.
Okey.
Okay, dah.
Dah.
Okay, so we are done with the tray for this row. Oh, okay. For this yang ada burnt soil tadi ni, kita put another layer of the burnt soil.
Kuyung.
Layer of the burnt soil just to cover the seeds saja. Okay, just enough to cover the seed. Okay, and then we are done. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you finally is I am sure that most of you have heard that some people using egg carton to grow vegetable, to grow seeds. So I'm going to show you how it's done. Koyum ambil yang tu tak koyum yang dah tanam tu.
Kuyung tengah kat belakang.
Okay, this egg carton ni
Yang mana?
kampung.
Ha?
Kampung.
Kuyung ambil tu kuyung. Kangkung tu belah sana tu.
So
Tu yang dalam bekas tu.
you can use any soil lah. You can use whatever soil. So this one I'm going to show you. I'm using this burnt soil.
Bagi dia pun semua.
Okay, so
Okay.
nak isi semua pun boleh. Okay, now this one I'm going to try. Kita akan grow kailan. So this one is very tiny seeds. So this is tiny seeds. Yang ni tak payah rendam pun tak apa. Kita boleh terus tabur. So for vegetable seeds like this, you don't have to,
Buka.
apa, meticulously pick up one by one. Susah lah. Tak payah susah sangat. You just ambil and tabur je. Tabur. Okay, dah boleh tu. Tabur. So this is example that what we did a few days ago. Tak naik lagi ya. This is kangkung. Dia belum tumbuh lagi. This one I'm using the mixture of compost and the black soil. Okay, dah. Okay, so macam tu je, kita tabur je. This one if you're using egg carton. Spray.
Kuih spray. Itu ambil tu.
Okay, so what about watering? Kita dah sow all the seeds, everything. And now what about watering? Okay, satu je tak boleh buat lah. Don't ever use your garden hose to water your seeds. Jangan. You can only use. You
Boleh lah pelan-pelan. Sorry dibuat.
you use spray. You spray this.
Pelan-pelan lah.
Buka. Buka. So this type of spray ni you can purchase at any DIY store. This one is berapa ringgit?
8.9 ke tak silap?
890. This one I prefer to use this easier because dia punya capacity is larger and then it's easier to do. Budak-budak ni pun boleh buat. And then using water like this, then I add in some EM. Agak-agak estimate lah. Agak-agak banyak mana. Lebih pun tak apa. Okay, kita boleh dek. Kita boleh. Okay, jangan guna garden hose. Don't use your garden hose. Don't use water from the garden hose to water your seeds, because if you use your garden hose, your seeds will rosak nanti. You will spoil the seeds. Okay, spray dia.
Pelan-pelan. Jauh sikit.
Okay, you spray. Okay, dah. Kau main tolong ni kau. Yang lain pun sama juga. Kap.
2 minit ni.
Pam.
Jangan.
Okay, nampak ni. Ambil ni.
Ni. Okay, letak bawah sana. Bawah sana. Atas jalan lah atas kepala.
Okay, yang lain, yang all the other pun sama juga. Kita spray.
Letak untuk kat tempat sana.
Semua kita spray. Okey, angkat ni simpan. Okey, macam tu je kita spray Every day kita kena spray sehari
Sini,
2 kali pun tak apa. But make sure dia sentiasa basah Yang tu yang penting. Make sure sentiasa basah. Then only your seeds will grow. Yeah. And then okay, finally I'm going to show one more thing remember of all the soil, of all the 5 soils tu, yang paling porous, yang paling tak boleh simpan air is what? Yang mana? Kokopit. Kokopit tak boleh simpan air, tak boleh simpan air dengan baik. You water the kokopit, dia akan dry up so easily. So kalau if you're using kokopit for to germinate seeds, you betul-betul kena jaga. Dia punya water, kerana sekejap saja dia akan kering. So how to come up, macam mana kita nak avoid this problem? So I'm going to show you how. So for this one I'm going to show you using small pots like this. Small pots like this. You kena guna macam ni You cannot use paper cup. You must use plastic pots like this. So bubuh kertas, nak bubuh pun boleh, tak bubuh pun tak apa. Kokopit. Okay, fill up with kokopit. Ambil sikit lagi kokopit. Sikit lagi.
Pegang jong dia, baru dia turun elok.
Nak tuyung, Nek.
Kalau sikit je.
Nak tuyung.
Lepas ada buah-buah sudah, adik, sudah. Sudah.
Nak
Dah habis. Sagi pula.
nak tuyung. Nek. Nak tuyung.
Siapa sama ayam? Tutup bilik ayam tu.
Tak nak, nak tuyung. Tak ni nak kena tahu.
Okay, so buah biji benih ni. So kita ada balance lagi kita sunflower tadi ni. Kita bubuh sunflower.
Hey. One.
Satu je, adik.
Betul. Sini. Ini tak sini.
Dah.
Satu lagi bantu.
Okay. Dah. Okay, then angkat ni adik. Kita cari bekas macam ni. Susun dalam ni.
Habis tebuk. Habis tutup.
Bekas ni besar sangat, tapi okay lah, boleh lah, just to show. Can get a smaller container if you have. And then you spray macam as usual.
Oi. Ni tak sini. Aku ya.
Okay, then kita nak avoid this kokopit from getting dry easily. So what we're going to do is that tuang air kat dalam container ni macam ni.
Nek daging.
And then add some EM.
Jadi nak bubuh. Berayak tu jadi.
So this is our homemade EM. Okay, so what happen here is that dia akan terendam kat dalam ni. That's why I said you have to use this plastic pots. Kalau guna paper cup, sehari 2 hari habis hancur. So dia akan terendam kat dalam ni. And then the water ni dia akan naik ke atas pelan-pelan, and then and making sure that the kokopit will always stay moist. Yeah. So this is one way to do it, to avoid the kokopit from becoming dry. Okay, so this is an example of how. Okay,
What
Ready, nah?
the?
this one is terung. I'm using this compost and then a layer of burnt soil. This one is our. So the advantage of using paper cup like this is you can let it grow. You tak payah nak susah-susah nak cepat-cepat nak transfer. Dia dah besar macam ni, you can still hold.
Naik tapu,
Can
dia
still
tak
maintain.
mau.
Okay, lagi. Then this one using potting soil. Ni bendy. Bendy. This one is using burnt soil. Okay. And this is using peat moss.
Why?
Okay, so there you have it.
What the?
How to germinate seeds our way. And this is how we are doing it here in my home farm.
What the?
Using this is how I'm doing it. So hopefully this is beneficial. Hopefully ada tuan-puan mendapat manfaat daripada ni. Mungkin boleh cuba dekat rumah nanti. And if there's any problem, if there's any question you want to ask, you can always text me. You can always send me a message through my FB account, through my messenger. And yeah, inshallah I will answer all your questions. And then inshallah the next live sharing will be about on how to transfer your plants ni, all your germinated plants from your tray, from your small cup, from your paper cup to a larger space or a larger pot. Probably this is going to be our next sharing session, inshallah. But that will be definitely after Raya lah. Raya coming in about 2 weeks. And then thank you everyone for tuning in to me. Thousand apologies, minta maaf banyak-banyak for any hiccup, for any problem you encountered during the live session. Selamat Hari Raya to everyone, and also finally I would like to take this opportunity to wish thank you so much to my dearest Auntie Joanne, Uncle Robert and Uncle Christy for your support, for your encouragement to me throughout the years. Okay, thank you so much. See you again after Raya. Selamat Hari Raya, selamat berbuka puasa. See you again. Bye. Assalamualaikum. Good evening.
Finish ya.